Hello, everybody. Awestruck Comics podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Just doing a quick Saturday haul. My Wednesday haul. Anyway, I was at my LCS NJ Comic Stop here, Paulsboro, New Jersey. John Costa, proprietor owner. He did a thirst trap post. Would you call it a thirst trap post on Instagram, saying, "Hey, got this collection in, not really sorted. Want to take a look at it? First come, first serve." So got out of work, took a drive down. Had to get my Savage Sword of Conan anyway. Had to get that anyway. Very important. Very important. So, very exciting. Big lion belt there. Big Leone belt. So, let's check this out. Check out the quick haul. Pretty good. Pretty good. Go over my significance of why it's in the collection. This has to go in the Tom Grummett collection, Adventures of Superman. The first meeting of, I don't know which Supergirl this is. I don't know. So that's a little confusing, but no problem. But Tom Grummett collection, need this from a Mike Manley collection, wonderful Kelly Jones cover. Night's End, actually probably my favorite part of that storyline there. I have a 1 million collection I'm doing here. Howard Porter, JLA 1 million. I think I may already have this, but I may have this in my Scott McDaniel run here. But my Scott McDaniel section, creator section, however, have to get this in my 1 million section. Jim Lee, nice Jim Lee there. This is a variant of issue 8, so this is actually a third printing variant. I kind of like this dark Superman logo there, pretty nice. There's a second printing, but it's not too bad. I think this was $1, but yeah, it's $8. This was when Marvel's doing these insane $8 books. $8 books. $8. What are you doing? But pretty fun. You got Stegman, a lot of fun. Really thick book. Jim Lee, I got a nice Jim Lee Alpha Flight there. Very nice. Looks like a big penis. Avengers Time Slide, the death of an Avenger, only to be brought back as a baby, sort of young teenage. Got this for the Andy Kubert. Gotta love that shield. We gotta do the Electro shield. No one likes it. No one likes that. No, it didn't last long. Didn't last very long. My Pacheco collection. Pacheco. This is a Jeff Johnson. Got a Jay Lee collection. I was looking through this. This Generation Next. This was part of the Age of Apocalypse. I'm not sure. I feel like this was way inspired. I feel like the first couple issues of Generation X were just kind of boring. I think it never really got better. But I thought this 4 issues was pretty good, pretty great and inspired. And it did state here, created by Bacalo and Lobdell, doesn't have a breakdown of who did what, which I think is pretty cool. Omega Red appearance, Chamber. I can't even tell. That's really fun. This is not reprinted in any of the Amalgam reprints because Gerard Jones, I believe, is a sex offender. So that happens. Not great, and which is a bummer because I feel like Jeff Matsuda, wonderful artwork here. That means he's not going to get any royalties if they have any of those sold, if that was even a thing. But still, not great. Bummer. Great Art Adams cover here. Marvel Comics presents a relaunch. None of these teams are that great in here, so it's fine. It's fine. It does have a Greg Land story. When I first looked at it, I think he's swiping this off of Garney. Come on, Greg Land. Come on, buddy. Great New Warriors storyline. Forever Yesterday, Days of Future, Days of Present, Past, Forever Yesterday. So how many things can we put together like that? Very fun. Got this for my LaRocca section. But this was a pretty fun miniseries, actually. Angel, Psylocke, good LaRocca. It was before he started doing the pencil only. Pencil only, no. I already have this, I believe, but I maybe want to do a gimmick section. I have this in my C. Butler collection, but I maybe want to do like a gimmick selection. Last issue of Thor, last issue Diodato. This actually started at 503, went to Journey into Mystery, and then Thor went into Heroes Reborn. No Thor book for a year while all that stuff was going on. Good Silvestri and Gambit. Trying to get through customs there, not doing too well. Can't get through the metal detector. Happens. Adam Kubert, right? So you probably have some good center spreads here. Very fun. Adam Kubert cover here. Jump in a couple years later, but you got the Lionel Francis U. Always a little stiff, I always thought, but and then he got better later. Why is he not doing the covers here? I don't really know. J.H. Williams, the third cover. Claremont uh back to Madripoor. Sabretooth appearance. Another Jeff Matsuda. Go to my Jeff Matsuda collection. Onslaught Time, Onslaught and Beyond. Paul Smith's return. Uncanny X-Men. Paul Smith. I remember being very disappointed in this at the time because I didn't really know like who's this Paul Smith guy? Why don't I have a Willis Portacio? Why don't I have a Jim Lee? This would have been right before the right as I guess right as X Factor was finishing and Portacio was coming over here soon. Brandon Peterson. Oh, this is right after Executioner's Song. This is relevant because this has a kind of a memorable scene here. There's I think that I think Charles gets legs for like 2 days or something after the most recent thing. He knows he's going to lose his legs. So Jubilee takes him rollerblading. Super fun. Splosh. JR, this is his second run of Uncanny when he does the big blocky. This is post-cable miniseries. Dan Green inks. Interesting. Interesting. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Scotty Lobdell. Scotty Lobdell in here. Interesting. Interesting. I like this little run when he came back. So I thought it was fun because I feel like he gets a bad rap for his early Uncanny work. That was a little stiff. It was just that there was nothing going on. A lot of Claremont would just have people sitting around, and that's not what JR. It's not what's exciting for JR. He wants to kind of mix pages up. He's doing something. A lot of people, it's a lot. You got to do some things, please. This is a Roger Cruz fill in, Roger Cruz cover. This is before this is before, this is, I'm trying to think if this is before Age of Apocalypse or not, but good work there. Thought this was a Mad interior, not a Mad interior, but Brian Hitch interior, no problem, but goes in the Brian Hitch collection. A lot of movement here. Here you got, I believe this is the the Wolverine with got his metal ripped out, so he turns into this crazy looking thing for a bit. So that's pretty fun. Got this for again, got a Churchill cover, but got this for my Sean Phillips collection. Inked and finished by Ashley Wood and a Poptopia. I do think it's kind of funny that this is happening at the same time as New X-Men and Churchill couldn't do 4 issues in a row. Yikes. Okay. I believe it's a Philip Tan cover, but I need this for my Ron Garney collection. Ron Garney collection. Again, I think this whole time this is in Austin. Yeah. I feel like nothing's really going on in this, and these storylines are pretty boring, but needed for the Garney collection. Here we go, jumping back to some good Andy. Excellent Andy Kubert. Look at that. There's an ad right there, right off. I just early Andy, I believe Clover Press did a Andy Kubert uh, art of X-Men recently. It might be worth looking at. Got this for the Richard Bennett collection. Richard Bennett inker over Jim Lee for a bit on some early issues. I think 1 or 2 issues of early X-Men. He's a pretty pretty great inker. Best known for Brass, Wildstorm Productions Brass, X-Men 31. Too much color separation. When I looked through this the other day, everything is in like a hologram or something. It's like I'm losing some things here with these flashbacks, losing the art. Got your slight hologrammy thingy. It's a good banshee on the back here. Phalanx Covenant. Pretty good there. Got X Babies coming back. No, thank you. Very annoying. But that's okay. Need to fill it in for my Andy. Andy, is this a T-Bear? Yes, you have T-Bear inks on here. Uh, is that Andy or Adam? Adam or Andy? What are we doing here? Andy. Looks more like Adam. Anyway, Pacheco time. Pacheco, Return of Iceman. There's everyone's favorite mutant Cecilia Reyes. You know the one. Doctor, everything will be all right. Is that, I don't know. -1. Good colors on this. Pacheco time. This I don't remember when this came out, but it's kind of fun. You got a flip book here. You got this, Steve Epting, flip book. I don't, and what I think what's cool about this, I believe, yeah, there's some. I don't remember these being reprinted. I don't remember these. We were already just talking about the Generation Next. The Chris Bachalo looking very Chris Bach. He looks exactly like his drawings. He's probably drawing himself. But I don't remember these mad drawings being anywhere else. Uh, Steve Scroce. This one has this Nelson McLuty. I don't know. I don't know if that's Nelson. I think John Byrne for a bit. But again, this stuff is not. I don't know if this is anywhere. I'm not sure if this is anywhere. So that's fun. That's why you get this type of stuff. That's why you get that type of stuff. Dark Beast coming back. A lot of Age of Apocalypse era here. Interiors of Val. I don't even know who this guy is. Frank Toscaro. It looked okay. It looked okay. But again, that's a pretty fun story. Ascension Zero, Wizard, Dave Finch Ascension 4. Grabbing the Dave Finch stuff here. What's this guy? Blindside, Merritt Michaels, Asylum. Later Asylum issues are pretty hard to get. This also has some Megaton in here. Megaton Man, as well as, look at that ad. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, give me that. Lethal. This all Merritt? Hmm. Yeah. It's kind of like an all Merritt Michaels issue. Anyway, cross-gen primer. A lot of good stuff here because you have, again, I don't think this is anywhere. There's a really good Brandon Peterson Mystic. I believe this is the Lay brothers, Ray and Ben Lay. Pretty good. There's your Jim Chung Scion, and there's your rough setup of what's happening here. Meridian, Middleton, Joshua Middleton, cross-gen primer. So again, these are probably like an insert, like a wizard insert. Don't see them too often. Same thing here. I don't know if this was an original. This just says Image Comics preview. Was this in something polybagged? I don't know. Jim Lee. And I don't know. And I tried to look at it to see if it was like read the rest of it. It says the end for now. I don't know if this is the first of many pages of here's some okay sketches. Look how bad this like graphic design is. Just the 90s graphic design is just ugly. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So, this I'd be curious to read. I don't think I ever read any of the Acclaim stuff when they were doing the Valiant relaunches. So I'd be curious to kind of read this if this is any good. But, again, good team. Mike McCone, Mark McKenna, Atomic Paintbrush on the King. So nice production. I'll buy that for $1. Very nice. Profit 6. This is just a hole in the collection. I think I have all the splats, but Mark Pajarillo fill in. This kind of fooled me because I don't believe this is glow in the dark. I think it's just a black and white variant, but it has a weird greenish tint. Maybe it is glow. It doesn't feel glow in the dark though. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I've ever seen this variant. One cool thing about this collection, so this is rejects, no number. So I guess this was like a preview or something. All right, so this is Rob Liefeld's rejects. But I think the biggest thing is that this was a flip book of Coven, and this collection had a lot of stuff in this. And look at this. Look, whoever had this, they said, look, here's the Coven, like good calligraphy. I don't know who this is. And then on the stickers, when they put the bag and board in, they put the date when it was published, 1998, June 9, 1998. Crazy. The Coven back cover, Rejects preview, issue 4. Anyway, I find people's collecting habits very fascinating because my collecting habits are strange, to say the least. War Child, I don't know if I have this regular. I'm not even sure if this is a 1B, but big War Child fan, Chap Yep. But I don't know if I have this cover, so not bad. Just try to get it filling in later issues. Weapon Zero, Joe Benitez. This was interesting because I don't remember this cover, so I got to double check to see. I'm pretty sure I have this. I know I don't have this. I know I did not have this. I sent this to DeLuca to see if he's ever seen this, and then it did come, same thing with a certificate of uh 5,000. Steve Milo, American Entertainment, 1 in 5,000 copies. But very cool Wolverine Witchblade cover. We miss you, Michael Turner. Now, the next bit is all some of my favorite stuff. I was showing John's dad because he's like, "What is the significance?" He kind of stares at what the heck I'm looking at and why are you grabbing that? You know. So there's a couple things here. Number one, here you have creator of Cyberforce creates a new force, codename Strike Force. But the fun thing with these inside images, this is from December 93, issue 10, is a lot of times they'll have some sketchbook art in here that is not printed, or they'll have covers that are not the cover. Like this is not the cover to number one. That is not printed anywhere. That's my favorite thing. Things are not printed. What's in here and your poster. You got your Freak Force on this side, just trying to see if anything was in here as covers that are not a thing. I think these are all the regular covers. Correct, correct. So, but that's the best thing here. This was not, this was like this. So I just grabbed it because inside image, I know I didn't have it. This I don't have. I talked to Rob Messick and I took a picture of this and I was like, I don't remember this cover. I don't remember this art. I'm just total blind spot on this. They have a feature about this. This never came out. This did not come out. I don't think they have a poster of this, which is a bummer. They have a Shaman's Tears poster, which is wow, cool. It would have been really nice to have and I think that's exclusive too. I don't remember seeing this art anywhere. It would have been nice to have this poster. Rob says there is a promo poster for this. This book never came out. Kurt Busiek was doing a Youngblood Year One, but say that would have been a real fun poster. But again, this is the exact thing that I'm talking about. Here's your Marvel Vision Spider-Boy and Dark Claw feature. I think they have this ad also here. This ad here, John Paulion ad, not printed anywhere. Not a thing. Ron Lim, big feature on a recent DeLuca video over at AKA Pad. Trying to see if there was something in here. No sketchbook stuff, just stuff we saw. But back then, I feel like they did something. I might have to cut this here. Anyway, let's check it out. This I know for sure. First off, those are pretty cool pajamas. If those are pajamas, so that's not, so Franklin Richards having cool Fantastic Four pajamas. I don't think these are the costumes that he did. It says Carlos Pacheco draws Marvel's first family for two issues, and then it went to Jim Lee. But I want to say, and that's a flip of this Spocklo. I don't know if that's printed, but I feel like in here, yeah, here we go. I have a Keith Giffen. Everybody check your FIFA files. This is a time slip where they had basically they would always have these, I believe, in the first handful of the Marvel Visions. Someone would do a take on a character in a different time. So Keith Giffen. Uh, Very cool. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is not around. Marvel Vision. JRJR cover again, not a thing that's used. This has I don't know if he drew Spidey in that costume for very long. That was the sensational Spider-Man, I believe. Van's back cover by Chap Yep. Chap Yep, all over the place here. Phantom ad. Here's your bad 90s graphic design. Yikes. So these are again really good to go through to see if there's any sketchbook art or what's in here. Oh, it looks like nothing's in here, just like a lot of stuff, very little stuff. So again, to look through, I don't think this art here, this Andy, is anywhere. This is starting closer to the end where this is a time slip here of a Scott McDaniel time slip of Galactus. Interesting. Jim Kruger. Jim Kruger scripting there. Just a 2-page John Byrne interview. Interesting. Got some more mags here. Overstreet Fan. Photo cover. Interior cover. Look at this. Look at this printing. Uh-oh. Look at that. Roger Cruz, baby. I scanned through some of these. There was nothing really specific but it is interesting to see. I mean, these were pretty good. Overstreet Fan, I believe, had better. I think they just had better layout. Here we have a good Tony Harris interview. I know I had this, but I had the other cover. I don't know what the other cover was. Again, Joe Mad cover exclusive, Casada cover exclusive, Jim Lee cover. I think that's exclusive to this as well. Yes, is the you got your gatefold, Silvestri. Trying to see if there was Lady Justice in there. Let me see here if there was anything. Grifter. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. No, that Grifter one shot does not have that. Come on. Come on. Oh, look, we just me and Rob just need to do a book of things that are just not around. Jim, that sounds a triple gate fold. Alex Ross. He's got a new project coming out soon through Abrams. He's doing yet another Kingdom Come. Bad Girls. Uh-oh. 90s Ahoy. Billy Tan. There's Tempest on the. I don't even know what Tempest is from. I don't even know what that's from. Tempest. You know, Tempest. I don't know. So, anywho, Whitman violated. So again, very fun. There's a Lita Ford ad, Jim Ballant cover. Let's see if the poster's in here. Max Pitt poster on one side. Very nice. Pretty fun. Now, last bit is here's all the accoutrement. I don't even think that's the right word, but here's the stuff that was in some of the stuff, meaning that some of the stuff was polybagged, had some things. Yeah, Brandon Peterson. This was from, I think, the X-Men issue. Because a lot of the stuff was just bagged and board. One of these books had, this is the checklist that I believe was given out, so that's kind of fun to have. This was, I believe, in the Overstreet Fan. There's a Chromium Startling Comics cover, very nice. A couple Magic cards that were in one of the books there. I'll give them to Mr. Costa. This, I guess, was a Versus System Upper Deck. There's Cloak. That's a Marvel Magic the Gathering-esque card. Got a little book mark there. Marvel Masterpieces. I mean, the first one's the best. This was maybe two. DeVries, Nelson, Palateus, Scan. Yeah, I don't like any of these. That's the closest one I like because it looks like Joe Jusko, but I know it's not. Some ash cans, a Kiku, very kid friendly, boring. Revelation. So I think this is, I guess, Comics Greatest World after, I don't know. I was kind of lost in all that. There's a promo Lost Universe card in that flare style. Not sure who drew that. Looks like a Scott Clark. God Wheel exclusive comic. Exclusive. Keith Conroy. But again, this stuff's just lost. You know, King Rune. This stuff's just lost. Like if this stuff, like there's nothing. There's nothing. I don't know. These are a couple different issues of God Wheel tie-ins. I think this is a God Wheel Zero. So this is all stuff. But I mean, again, I don't know why Marvel wouldn't just put out maybe a compendium for some of that. So do a Prime compendium. Give me some good Brayfogle. Give me a big fat Brayfogle, or how you collect it, or just put it on the Marvel app, or maybe just DC has an ultra space on their app where it's more per, but you get the books from 30 days, uh, books that just came out 30 days ago. Whereas Marvel, they went from 6 months to 3 months. It's still a little too long. They should just run a second option. Run a second option that it's going to have, if you want all the Malibu stuff, you own the cross-gen stuff. That's not on the Marvel app. You own it. You put out a couple. I wonder how good the omnibus did. They put out, I believe, a Sigil and a Mystic, I think. And Mystic looked great. Mystic looked really good, and it's just not a thing. But they own all this, and they own it to throw it out. I don't know. I think Rob has more of a story of what this is. But I wasn't a big fan of this type of cards, but this was kind of fun. 1995. Look at this. I wasn't a big fan of that, but this does look pretty good. I mean, again, I think the biggest thing that we all had a problem with this is that we were spoiled. We had a lot of original stuff. So then you have stuff like this, which is taken literally from That's X-Men 1, X-Men 1 or 2 or 3, one of those. So it's like you're just taking art, you put it through like almost early AI filter almost, right? You put it into Photoshop, you messed with it, and then you put it on a card and then that's that. But I mean, even back then, you could feel like there's no way that they're paying Jim Lee for this. It's over. It's art. They already have it. So anyway, that's it. Super fun. Hope you all enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. Just a quick one today, everyone. See everyone real soon, and that's it. Have a great one. Thank y'all, and see you soon.